Hello there, everybody. This is Alex from Hardcoring Guides, being my guide for Devil May Cry 4 on Dante Must Die difficulty. Today we're doing Mission 15, entitled Fortuna Castle. Oh boy, where do I begin with this one? Well, first of all, once again, like it always is, this is where the Blitz video takes place. So I know I've said it for like the past 3 or 4 videos now, but again, easy kill video in the description. So if you want to see somebody better at handling this than me and where I got my ideas from, there you go. But the one thing that I tend to do is I just go for the Coyote Trickster, so that way I can just kind of keep a consistent dodge going at all times. I just keep jumping, I keep using Trickster, and then when he's down and out for the count, I put some pins inside of him with the R1 plus the R1 forward triangle move. That works pretty well, because it does like a good amount of damage, especially on the boss in this chapter too. I don't know how I got away with dodging his attack there. Don't ask me how. I've had that happen a couple of times. I don't know. But once again, unfortunately, I got very unlucky with the kill right there, or like getting him down into red. So obviously, I'm still not great at doing the whole blitz easy kill stuff, but still. I would also recommend that you keep your DT charged for just a little while. Mainly until at least probably, like, just defeat Blitz without it, preferably. Once you get to, like, the first checkpoint, I'll tell you where all the checkpoints are at, but once you get to, like, the first checkpoint, then, you know, you can use it there, but, like I said, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Because this chapter only has, like, I think 2 checkpoints, maybe 3 on the boss, but I never died to the boss, so I didn't get the check. But I can tell you for sure, though, I definitely know for a fact where that first checkpoint is at. No doubt. This chapter took me, like, I think weeks to do. I couldn't get it down. I was having so much trouble with it. And I got so scared when I died on the second Blitz. Yeah, there's a second one. And I was like, oh my god, I have to go all the way back? No, fortunately you don't. So thankfully, there's a checkpoint right before him, which is very nice. It's just that getting up to him is the real challenge. So this is your first checkpoint that you're going to get, not including the start of the mission, of course. But this is your first checkpoint. I'm doing this for good luck. I don't know, just a weird thing with me. And now you got to fight the Guardian statue guys. So for these guys, I recommend, well, for the most part, Royal Guard works pretty great against them. But I was using Trickster, and I don't have, like, the best advice or the best combos for them, but all I can really admit is, or all I can really give advice for is basically just try to get behind them, combo them in the air, hit them with a coyote, that sort of thing. Trickster that. You can blow up the ball, the void shot, and it will kill them instantly. And eventually I gave in to my primal desires, and this is why I meant, like, you know, have some TT ready. Because if you're willing to use it for this part, which I don't blame you, go right ahead. And also another thing too, a small little tip, and it'll come into play later, is keeping enemies inside the corner. Because when they're in the corner, they can't really, and there's like a little bit of a ceiling above them too, so they can't really get away too far, which helps out a ton. And I think there's only 1 gold statue armor, and there's only 1 gold armor that you have to fight. That thing's kind of easy to dodge. I was just being kind of silly. And luckily there's also green herbs. I've been playing too much Resident Evil. There's also green orbs floating around. But yeah, the whole knocking them in the air combo, it's not really super efficient, but it does work a little bit until they get away. And then when they get too far away, I just shoot them with a shotgun to try to stun them. And then just for this, like, I'm attacking the shield head on purposefully. God, I can't speak today. I'm attacking it head on purpose, so I can trigger him to do an attack, and so I can Trickster behind him. Now, Royal Guard works too, but yeah, I also just avoided the orb thing because I kept thinking, like, oh, maybe that's why I'm losing so many times. That's gotta be it. Also, another thing too is if you get a checkpoint, or if you go back to that checkpoint, not only do you have to fight those guys again, but items that you break in here, I'm pretty sure stays broken, so. But man, I almost had a good run one time. I had a good run, and It failed. I think I almost no damaged the first fight that we did in there. Of that checkpoint fight. And I was just pissed. At everything and everyone. Alright, for this, it's just nothing but scarecrows, for the most part. Like regular minion scarecrows. And then, of course, the bigger elite scarecrow type enemies. So, for these guys, just do what you normally do. There's nothing super fancy about this fight. I guess if I had to say one thing, though, with the big scarecrow enemies, it's just like the previous fight with them before with Dante, or in general, is whenever they spawn two at a time, just try to keep the other one away from the field of view, away from the camera, so that way he doesn't aggro nearly as much. Because luckily these games are made with love and passion, thank God for that, along with Resident Evil 4. The original Resident Evil 4, mind you. Look, I'm not trying to hate on the remake, but I'm trying to give credit to the original Resident Evil 4 for being a really damn good, solid game. And luckily Capcom had some really good stuff back then. They still do, but they definitely had some cool stuff back then, and they knew how to make arcade fun good. And like I said, for these guys, like, just keep one just kind of slightly off-screen behind you, so that way he doesn't just aggro and try to attack you unfairly. And that's the thing, though. That's the key trick. Is it's unfair to get hit. And right now, I'm just trying to show off. Nothing specific. I'm using Trickster to dodge the last little blade that comes down. And then for this, it's just doing whatever I can to do as much damage as fast as possible, so he doesn't DT. Although for these guys, it takes them a while to DT anyway, to be fair. So, there's that. I had one really cool Trickster dodge. I don't know, I think it was this video. We might have already seen it. It's too late now for me to go back and watch it, but I could have sworn that I had one really cool Trickster dodge. I'm not even sure anymore. Oh well. Anyway, so yeah, we're still in that checkpoint. If you die now, you have to do both of those fights again. Not the Blitz, but both of the Scarecrow fights and the armor, which is really upsetting. And this is where the last... Like, this is still the same checkpoint, but after this fight is the next checkpoint. Alright, let me explain things very carefully. So, I run into this corner to get these guys to come over here and try to spawn into this corner, so that I can kind of just lock them into the corner, or at least against a wall. I need them to be against a wall or a corner of some sorts. So, I'm just going to do the usual, like go into DT, hit him with everything I can, just do as much damage as possible to make sure I get rid of them as quick as possible, because these guys DT quite fast. Now, if you haven't seen my previous videos, the shotgun works really well whenever they're doing that glow attack, like when they're about to do an attack of their own, when they start to glow. When they jump, or even try to fire up the shot, just shoot a shotgun shot at them, and it will not only have knockback, but also stun them for a little bit. Or not really stun them, but it'll stop them from doing the combo. Not the combo. God. It'll stop them from doing the attack. Another thing, too, is you want to try to build up DT from here on out as well, because a hunter is going to spawn. You want to at least have some DT charge, but I'll eventually get some more pack. Don't worry about it. It does take a bit. And I think I'll leave this guy alive for a little while, too, because as soon as the hunter spawns, he's pretty much going to be like slightly new priority, because he's going to be a lot harder to de-aggro. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to do what I can to take him out. And as you can see there, I was using the shotgun and it was knocking away some of the spikes. And I'm still hanging on to Trickster just to give myself some air dodges and just even a little bit of iframes. And then using DT shotgun just to try to take down the cloak as fast as possible. Something else too is Royal Guard obviously works perfectly against these guys, but it takes time and practice to learn that type of stuff. Not that you can't do it. Anybody can. It just, like I said, it just takes time. And it's something I'm not trying to rely on too heavily right now, because I'm in panic mode, you know? I don't know if I'm going to die here or not. I'm trying not to die. But like I said, with this guy, just as soon as he spawns in, put all of your focus onto him. And don't try to get yourself stuck into a combo too much, because you definitely don't want to get accidentally hit, you know, by the other guy in the corner or whatever. And then whenever I get a chance to hit the Ice Demon, I'm just going to go straight for him and just take him out. But you can just tell, with his DT charge on, it's ridiculous now. Like this, he takes a lot longer to kind of knock back and stun, which I think it takes about maybe 2 shotgun shots, maybe 3, to knock him out of an attack, give or take. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. And I know my focus is kind of on the wrong guy here, but at the very least, we're doing some decent damage and getting the 100, at least to not aggro nearly as much, because he's kind of off screen a little bit. But he's a lot harder to get that to happen to. And that's why I say whenever he spawns in, just if you don't have the time for it to kill all the ice demons quick enough, just take down the hunter. Because if anybody's going to be the most obnoxious thing to deal with, it's going to be him. Even if the ice demons DT, it's fine. And then once you come down here, I think this checkpoint indicates, or that cutscene should indicate that that's a checkpoint. Because it is a checkpoint. I know for a fact, because I did end up dying to the second blitz. And you can even see the edit right there, too. Where I was... Dude, my heart was pounding. I was like, are you kidding me? That's a checkpoint? Oh, we're so good. I'm so done with this chapter now. I'm so done with it. And then this is, I think, the second to last fight, including the boss, I believe. It's just a couple of scarecrows. They're not that big of a deal, but they are slightly annoying. And the thing is, with the scarecrows being involved, they are going to be a primary target for the blitz to spawn in from, that you'll get to see. I'm pretty sure he does it in this video. Also, very DMC1 looking area. It always reminds me of that one area in DMC1 before you fight Angelo. But yeah, so, the mirror world area. Whenever the blitz spawns in, I'm just going to do the same thing I do all the time. Basically, just run around, trickster, shotgun, that sort of thing. And I'm not going to worry about the scarecrows too much, because they're not really much of a problem. And I guess I must have killed them quick enough, because we don't get to see the electrical teleportation move. Because if there's a scarecrow in the room, the blitz will teleport to it. Which, to be fair, the teleportation thing is actually pretty easy to kind of figure out when it's going to happen. It's not like it's a big deal. So, even if he spawned on me, it wouldn't really matter. Because at least I can just know he's spawning on me, dodge, and then go for shotgun shots. And then here's me being a complete dumbass and forgetting what buttons I'm supposed to be pressing. So, and just relying heavily on Stinger, so I want this guy dead as quick as possible. Thank God for Stinger. And then, of course, the rest is pretty much just timed. I'm pretty sure he blows up eventually, no matter what, even if you attack him or not, or if you attack him or don't. But I'm just doing everything I can. As soon as I touch the ground, I'm instantly jumping. And as soon as I fire for shotgun, I'm just going for trickster dodge, just to have any sort of hope that I can get away with avoiding all of that, because, my God. Which is funny, because I remember Blitz, back then, it used to be a lot harder for me to take down, but over the years, I've gotten a lot better at fighting them. Like, I'm not perfect, of course, but at the same time, like, I've definitely shown that, like, yeah, I can deal with a Blitz or two. Maybe not at the same time, which I'm surprised they don't do that. Alright, so this is Bale, I'm pretty sure. Basically, just whip out the Lucifer, stick him with a few pins, mainly like the Stinger Lucifer attack. You want to do that one, because it does a lot of damage when you blow them up. If you do three at a time. And of course, I'm just sticking with the usual shotgun when he's at a distance, and hitting him with this. Whenever he does that jumping, leaping attack thing, you want to just use Trickster to kind of dodge out of the way. But of course, if you're playing on Demon D mode, you most likely know this, of course, but if you are just watching for fun and you're not aware of it, if you do get grabbed and eaten, you can DT. You can activate Devil Trigger and just get out of it. Alright, for the little angler fish things, what I tend to do is I tend to use shotgun just at like a distance to just try to get some pop shots. And if that doesn't work, I immediately switch to using just, the arms. So basically, the like Rebellion and stuff, just doing basic melee attacks, because usually they tend to get hit whenever I end up doing that. I think the Trickster dodge I get that was pretty well done was, I think, in the boss fight, I think. But yeah, you can just tell by there, like, you saw all that damage. And that's what I'm talking about, like, with the whole, like, the Stinger motion. with the pins, because it does a good amount of damage to him too, which is really nice. And then if they keep dodging my shotgun shots, I just immediately go switch to melee, and then go from there. And then of course I just keep jumping and keep trickster dodge. Whenever they go for that grab thing that they're doing right there, I just jump shotgun and just get a few hits, and then knock them down a bit, and there you go. Now she's down now for the count. I'm pretty sure it's a trick to get you to kind of run up to her and get grabbed, but luckily enough, I'm not that dumb. You don't do nearly as much damage to them as you would to the full boss, though, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it is. And yeah, you gotta be very careful. You don't want to be exactly like me and just be a little too impatient here, because if you're being a little too impatient, you might end up getting yourself hurt like I did. So, but for the most part, relatively pretty easy boss. And I mentioned this before, like if you can beat Echidna, you can beat all these bosses, but I take that back because Burial is a little tougher than I remember him being on Dante. And then also, it's been a while since I fought Agnes, so we'll see how that goes. But for the most part, the first 2 Dante bosses are not that bad, at least. And then when you're done with that, you're basically done with the chapter. So I'll see you guys in the next mission, and of course, as always, take care, everybody.